The Amazing World of Gumball was a sitcom created for Cartoon Network. It was about a blue cat called Gumball and his adoptive goldfish brother called Darwin, and was generally all about their life at home and at school. It also had weird living things like a talking banana and things like a visible ghost who attended school, and many other weird characters that we shall discuss today. We shall also look at some of the main cast members who voiced the characters, and who shall continue voicing the same characters in 2025. The living banana we mentioned earlier was called Joe. He attended Elmore Junior High alongside Darwin and Gumball, and was someone who always told jokes that were only funny to him. He had googly eyes and a mouth made of clay, and was seen using his peel as his only clothes. He was the class clown and often made jokes while trying to be funny, but his jokes were not as good, and people saw him less of a comedian and more of an annoying guy. He was also dim-witted and always behaved in a childish manner both at home and at school. Mike Graves was the one who voiced him, and is an English producer and a voice actor. He was among the people who directed this show, and is also the creator of a show called Elliot from Earth. Gumball Watterson was the main cat in the show. He was 12 years old, and was a blue cat who attended Elmore Junior High with Banana Joe. He mostly hanged around with Darwin, who was a goldfish that could breathe on both land and sea. Just as you'd expect in a young boy, Gumball was a very active and imaginative person. He was very poor in classes but a mastermind when it came to formulating all forms of mischievous schemes at home and at school. He also had a jobless father and a hard-working mother and a young sister, all whom he loved and adored. He lived his life without worries, and was voiced by Logan Grove. He only voiced Gumball in the first and second season before being replaced due to his maturing voice. He also left the show to attend Annapolis as part of the United States Navy. Susie was the most unique character in the show. She was very weird and strange, and was a chinnikin with googly eyes kind of like those of Banana Joe. She also wore a periwinkle dress and was considered to be bald. What she loved the most was eating, and she never skipped any chance of going to parties just for the food. And to most of the students, Susie was very weird and odd-looking. The only people who kind of understood her were guys like Darwin, Gumball, and her parents. She came from a wealthy background but lacked friends to hang out with throughout the whole show. The sounds she produced were made by a guy called Ben Baclet, a French animator and producer. He was also the creator and executive producer of this whole show. Gumball had a young sister called Anais Watterson. She was the youngest member of the Wattersons, and also the brightest and sharpest, even more than her mom. And even though she was young, she was in a higher grade than her brother due to her high IQ levels. She was smarter than Darwin and Gumball, and this made her to play pranks and torment the boys for her own amusement. She also helped her dim-witted father and her hardworking mother wherever she could. A remarkably awesome character voiced by Kyla Kovalevsky, who is a former voice actress that also voiced Mimo in Adventure Time. Darwin was the pet goldfish of Gumball and also his best friend. His full name was Darwin Raglan Caspian Ahab Poseidon Nicodemus Watterson III. He was later adopted into the Watterson family, and became the middle child among the three. The only clothes he wore were his pair of socks, and was known to be a very happy and positive person. He was very optimistic, and always tried to see the best in everything that happened throughout the show. He was the most selfless person in the series, and was seen caring more for others than he did for himself. He was voiced by Kwesi Bokai, who is an American actor and the original voice of Darwin. He is also the voice of Gossamer on the Looney Tunes show. Now let us talk about the mother of the kids and husband of Richard. Nicole was the backbone and the only responsible member of the Watterson family. She was very dedicated to her kids and would do anything to keep them comfortable and safe. She was the sole provider and also the protector of the family, and was actually the toughest and the fiercest person in the town. She did both the house chores and was also a full-time employee at the Rainbow Factory, where she worked double shifts to provide for her greedy husband and her always hungry kids. Voiced by Teresa Gallagher. She has been active since 1988 and has appeared in horror films like Salem's Lot of 1995 and also The Exorcist of 2014. Richard Watterson was the husband of Nicole and the father of the kids. Unlike the fathers that we have today, Richard was the complete opposite of a provider and protector. He was not wise, and neither was he a good role model for his kids. He spent most of his time on the couch watching TV and munching on edibles all day. He was nevertheless a good guy on the inside, and was a dad that truly loved his kids and his wife as well. He can be categorized as a very childlike and lazy person, and was a rabbit that really loved eating sausages. This overweight dad was voiced by Dan Russell, who is a voice actor, voice director, and also a musician that is based in London. Tobias Wilson was a student at Elmore Junior High and was a multicolored fluffy cloud-like humanoid creature with 3 fingers on each hand. He loved wearing his headband to school and was known to be a show-off and a people-pleaser. His ego always made him delusional, and he always thought that he had a lean physique, which he clearly didn't. And with this type of ego, he thought women were obsessed with him, but the reality was that everyone was tired of him and tried their best to avoid him at all cost. He was voiced by Hugo Harold Harrison, who also voiced Alan Keane in this show as well. Carrie Kruger was a ghost who attended the same school as the others, and was 337 years old. She was the girlfriend of Darwin, and was a white translucent ghost that could levitate in the air. She enjoyed being alone and miserable, but was not necessarily an introvert, as she talked and hanged out with the others. And just like her boyfriend Darwin, Carrie was so selfless and kind-hearted, and also had the power to possess other living creatures. The beautiful Jessica MacDonald voiced her. She is also a singer and music performer from Britain and the United States. Harry Tootmorsel, popularly known as Ocho, was a spider that was designed in 8-bit graphics. He was mostly seen at school and was known for his anger issues towards others. He was sometimes nice and friendly when interacting with others who were nice to him, like Banana Joe and Darwin. And even though he was mostly a loner, he became more sociable and trusting in the later seasons. Voiced by Max Kasier, who is an American voice actor. He also started voicing Clayton in Season 2 of the same show. Joanna Watterson was a 63-year-old woman and the biological mother of Richard. She loved her grandchildren a lot, but did not get along with Nicole. She was always grouchy with no appreciation even after someone did a nice thing to her. And due to her age, she was mostly lazy and was mostly seen hanging around the Wattersons' house. Larry Needlemeyer was a guy that worked at almost every store in town. He was very hardworking and did not like the Watterson family, especially the kids. And finally, Louis Watterson, who was the husband of Joanna. He was 72 years old and was a very calm and friendly person, unlike his wife. His kindness and loving nature made the kids to adore him very much.